We are live. We are live. We are live on the YouTube sphere. Okay. All right. Listen, welcome to Deal Mastery Live, y'all. Tonight we are going to be covering how to review deals, right? So I do this class every Thursday night with my mentees, and I just review deals. And so listen, if you're watching this right now, it's because you're interested in real estate, and maybe you are already in real estate. Maybe you are a real estate wholesaler, or you're a flipper, or maybe you're an agent, and maybe getting the numbers down is the thing that you're struggling with. Deal Mastery Live is all about learning the skill sets you need to know, sharpening those skills so that way you can procure real estate deals at the right price. And honestly, with the way that the market has been changing, um, you know, values changing, dropping in some areas, increasing in other areas, it's important for you to really be able to know how to analyze deals, and especially as an investor, make sure and ensure that the deals that you are pursuing, you're getting at the right price. So that way you're getting a really great investment, and you're doing the right thing. And so with that being said, right, that's the entire purpose of this. And again, this is something I do with my mentees. So I'm doing this live today because I figured I wanted, I could share this with my audience outside of just my private mentorship group. I can share this with the public audience. And so this is what I'm doing today. So I want to show you exactly how to analyze deals, right? And I'm going to be using real, actual opportunities, real deals that we're really working with. So that way you can really, really get to learn, right? And so to kick it off tonight, though, I'm going to get started with the deal that I'm looking at right now, right? And so with that being said, I'm gonna share my screen here. I'm gonna show you how to do this using one little simple tool. It's called Zillow. If you don't have it, download it on your phone right now. I'm gonna show you how to actually do this. Okay, so that way you can be able to close deals and get them for the right price, right? That's the most important thing. Because in real estate, the see in real estate and in investing general, right? You win when you buy. You win when you buy. So it's important that when we are putting properties under contract, when we are purchasing an investment property, or we're investing in anything, that we buy low and sell high, right? That's the old adage. But it's very, very, very true. But when it comes to real estate, though, it's a little bit more than just buying low and selling high. You've also got to understand other factors, and be able to look at other aspects of the investment other than just the price. You've got to be able to look at the location, right? You got to make sure that the location is good. You have to be able to identify demand. You have to be able to identify the likelihood of your investment property that you are looking to either flip or rent actually being able to perform and being able to produce based on what the market is doing. So it is a whole lot more than just price, right? Price is one aspect of it, but you've also got to identify whether or not you even got a good opportunity in your hands. That's the other thing. The other important thing as well, okay, is you have to also know and realize when an opportunity is actually a really good opportunity. So I like to start off every single Thursday night when we do these deal reviews. I like to remind my mentees, look, before we can even talk about numbers, we have to identify and make sure that the real estate opportunity at hand is actually a real opportunity worth you doing all the research, going the extra mile to figure out all the numbers, and then present an offer. It's got to be worth it. And what I mean by that, right? What do I mean by it's got to be worth it? What do I mean by that? What I mean is, at the end of the day, it is a waste of time to spend 30 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, even in some cases, to sit down and review a deal and come up with numbers to make an offer, when at the end of the day, the opportunity you have, or the client or the homeowner that you're dealing with or working with, isn't even motivated, right? So I think the most important thing, aside from being able to analyze a deal, aside from being able to know what numbers work and what doesn't, is actually making sure that the opportunity that you have on hand is really going to be an opportunity that's worth it for you to spend that extra time to do that extra research. Okay, so with that being said, I want to start off by saying and just explaining the difference between what actually how to describe an actual motivated seller, right? We got to make sure that we're dealing with homeowners who are motivated to sell, not just homeowners who are just looking around or they're just curious. You want to make sure that they're actually motivated to sell. So what does that actually mean, right? A lot of times, and especially in our industry, when we hear the term a motivated seller, which gets, honestly, in my opinion, gets passed around much too loosely. Most of the time, people think it's a motivated seller is like a list, right? Or it's someone who is in a financial predicament. And I want to be honest with you, a motivated seller is more than that, right? Yes, there are motivated sellers who are in predicaments. Yes, you can build motivated seller lists, but that's not really what a motivated seller is. A motivated seller is someone who needs to sell. Point blank, period. They need to sell. The circumstance that they're in, the challenges that they're facing, puts them in a situation where they need to sell. And they've made the decision to sell. That's very important. That's very, very important. I cannot tell you enough how many times, you know, you know, I could pull a list of homeowners who all fit the description of someone who should need to sell, but then they don't call back or they don't answer the phone, and it's only because they're not in the situation yet where they made the decision to sell. They're in a situation where they probably should, but they just haven't made a decision. So a motivated seller is someone who needs to sell and has made the decision to sell. Once you've identified that to be true, now it's worth it for you to go the extra mile and do that extra research and do all that extra work. Because at the end of the day, I've got a question for you. What good does it do? What good does it do to sit down and spend 15 minutes to review a deal or review a home, and then at the end of it, the seller's just like, oh no, I'm not that serious, or I'm gonna keep on looking around, or and they're just not serious. It's a waste of your time, and honestly, it's a waste of their time. But since you're the expert, you have to be in control of your time. So make sure that before you spend the time to do what I'm showing you tonight, that you actually vet your sellers, you vet your opportunities, you vet your leads, and you make sure that they need to sell and they have made a decision to sell, so that now it's just a matter is just a matter of, okay, at what price are they going to sell at, and what are the terms that are going to be necessary for them to agree to selling their property. All right, so if that all makes sense, let's get rocking and rolling here. So I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to use this awesome little tool called Zillow. If you do not have Zillow, download Zillow on your phone. There's also another awesome tool that I use called Deal Machine. Okay, I'll include it in the notes. It's a live video right now for those of you who are on YouTube, so we ain't gonna be able to see it right now. But I'll make sure to keep this video up for later. For those of you who are watching this in post time, I'll include everything in the show notes so that way you can get access to that tool, because it can help you do a lot of this stuff, and it can help you find motivated sellers, motivated buyers, and all of that. For those of you who are live on YouTube right now, though, if you want to get access to the tool, simply go to my YouTube channel or simply go to my Instagram. That's probably the best thing to do. Go to my Instagram at Luke Madeus, at LucMadeus. Go to my Instagram, click the link at my Instagram, and it'll take you to my link tree, and you can literally see it. It's the #1 AI tool that I'm using in my business right now, and it's literally a business in a box, all right? So you can review deals, get comps, everything like that through the app. But I'm going to show you all the free way, a simple way of doing it, utilizing Zillow, okay? So this is something that everybody could do, all right? And it doesn't cost any kind of money whatsoever. So I'm going to show this to you. Let me make sure that I'm sharing my screen here. All right, so listen, this is one of the cribs, This is one of the houses that I'm looking at right now, right? So I'm looking at this property right now because it looks like a great opportunity, okay? So my job now is to review this deal. So this is a deal that I got from one of my team members, okay? And I'm going to review this deal, and we're going to look at a couple of things. We already know that this is a situation where the seller needs to sell. So we're past that part, all right? So all of the deals that I review live on this class are deals that we've already vetted, okay? So now we're just working through the process, reviewing the deal, and I'm going to show you how I do it, all right? So this is the property here, I'm gonna copy that for a second. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna analyze what I'm working with. So this is a 5 bedroom, 2 bathroom home, 950 square feet, which sounds crazy. 5 bedrooms and 950 in a 950 square foot house. Honestly, this sounds unrealistic to me. So what I'm gonna do is, because I don't believe that's the size of the house, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down here on Zillow, not here. I think it's here. Yep, here it is. I'm gonna go to the county website. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I need to get one of my mentees in here. So I'm going to look. Give me just 1 second. So I'm going to look for. Here it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the property on the county website. Okay. And then I'm going to look up the property record card. All right. Give me 1 second here to share my screen again with you. All right. One of my mentees needed the link to the Zoom room, so I just want to make sure he got it. All right, so let me make sure that you are seeing my screen again. Share my screen. Okay. There it is. All right, cool. So we are back on. So I'm gonna do a property search. Okay. And then inside the property search, I'm going to search for the property address, right? So I'm going to come down here to the property address, which I copied already. I'll pop it in here. Let me get my face out the screen. Okay. And this is something you can do right on your phone. As you can see, I'm using my phone right now, and I'm doing this entire process, right? So this is what we're working with here. Hopefully YouTube doesn't trip about the public record information. I've had videos pulled down on YouTube because of that. It's public record information. Anyone can access it. All right, so let's look through this here. So I can see everything here. What I want to see though is I want to see the property features. Okay, I want to make sure that this is actually a 5 bedroom, 2 bathroom home. And no, it's not a 5 bedroom. It is a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom home. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, okay, I'm going to screenshot this because I need this. I need to send this over to my sales guy, my team member, to take to relay this back to the homeowner, okay? Because we're gonna work around that, right? So I just want to make sure that this is clear, because Zillow is showing us that it's a 5 bedroom, which is not accurate. It's actually a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, according to public record. Now this is important because I've seen it many times again, where a homeowner is trying to get value for a house that is, let's say it's a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, but then they say it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom because they added a bedroom, right? So I want to be very clear about something. At the end of the day, the facts that stand is the one that is recorded at the county level, period. In other words, if the homeowner wants to get credit for that extra bedroom, they've got to update the tax record at the county level so that way it's counted for. Otherwise, it's not. Okay? That is very important, because sometimes homeowners will tell you that it's got an extra bedroom, and they'll try to get the value for it. They'll try to compare their house to those other properties, but at the end of the day, it's not that, because the county does not reflect that. A lot of times homeowners will do this as a way to save on taxes. So they'll build the extra room, but they don't report it because they want to save on taxes. Other times they don't report it because they built the extra room without permits, which brings up a whole other issue. Because if you're the person who buys that house, believing it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, or in this case a 5 bedroom, 2 bathroom, and really it's a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, when you go to sell that house, you're going to have an issue with it because of this very reason. Okay? And if you want to get the value for it, you're going to have to be the one to update the county on the extra bedroom. And the county is going to send someone to the house to make sure that the work was done right because it wasn't permitted. Okay, so they're going to make sure that the work was done right. And if it wasn't done up to the county's code, they're going to tell you that you're going to have to redo it or tear it down. Both of those options are going to cost you lots of money. So I like to tell people, and I like to remind people, especially my flippers out there, if you're going to purchase a home to flip it as an investment property, it is important that you understand that you let your homeowner know that, so that you can get the right value for the house. So for me, this is a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom house, which is still kind of crazy to me because it's a 950 square foot home, which is super tiny, right? Um, but we're gonna look at this, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come out here. Well, I'm gonna scroll down here because Zillow kind of makes things a little, they try to make it convenient. So they have these sold comps down here, which I like to look at. But the ones I'm seeing right now really aren't that helpful. This is a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, not helpful. This 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, maybe. 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, not helpful. 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, maybe. 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, maybe. So I don't see any that's a 4 bedroom or higher. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna come out here, okay? Now I'm going to adjust my parameters. So I just hit the reset button so we can go back to default, right? So now what I'm gonna show you here is something very simple. I'm gonna show you, okay? I'm gonna show you how to, what parameters you should be setting when you are reviewing your deals on Zillow. So the first thing, okay, is we're gonna go to recently sold, all right? And then on max beds and baths, this is a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom home. So I'm gonna look at 4 beds, and I'm gonna put the max as 5 because they it's considered a 5 as well. So I'm gonna put a 4 bedroom up to 5 bedroom, okay, so I can see both. Alrighty. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to then adjust the number of bathrooms, which is 2 bathrooms. Now, home type, this is important. We want to only compare apples to apples. All right, what does that mean? It means that we're going to take out all of this extra stuff that is not comparable to our house. The house we're looking at is a house, right? So we're going to look at houses. Next thing, you can add this if you want to, single story homes only. I never do it, to be honest with you. I don't ever do it, so we're going to leave it out. 55 and up communities, we're going to say don't show because this house is not located in the 55 and up community, okay? The rest of these filters here, irrelevant. We don't need that. Now, square footage is important, right? So this house is 950 square feet. 950 square feet. So what we're going to do is over here on the square footage, we're going to make this little parameter 1,000 to 750. We're going to start here between 750 and 1,000 square feet. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down to year built. So I'm going to go back for a second because I don't think I checked the year built on this house. So let me just go back for a second. All right. So this house was built in 1961, right? 1961. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come back here to our filters. We're going to go to 1961. All right. So I'm going to look plus or minus 20 years. Plus or minus 20 years. Okay. So year built on the low is going to be 1940. Let's go down to 1940. And then year built on the high is going to be 1980. Doesn't have to be exact, but we just need to look, about 20 years apart, right? So we got a house built in 1961. Now, if I do not find enough comps, I'm going to adjust these parameters a little bit. Now, what I tend to do if I need to adjust the year built is I'm going to remove the older houses. I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to leave the top one, okay? And I'm going to show you why in just a minute if I need to do that, right? So then down here, the last thing is sold in the last 6 months. 6 months. Now, with the market changing rapidly and home values changing drastically, honestly, it is important right now to trust the comps that are most recent. So a 90-day window is like, mwah. But I like to take 6 months because 6 months is still reasonable. But I believe that in the market that we're in right now, what I used to do is I used to look back at the most about a year. But I think that right now, comps that were available a year ago, properties that sold a year ago, are no longer really trusted comparables because the market values have changed drastically. All right. So with that being said, and if you understand what I mean, drop a 1 in the chat if you're on the same page right now. If you track with me, drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat. All right, cool. So now we're looking at 6 months. So I'm kind of zoomed in here. I'm gonna zoom out. So our house is located in this little pocket here. Let me see if I could actually show you where it's at. So this is important, y'all. For those of you who like to look up maps, you're gonna love this part. I'm a map person because I'm a visual person. So I like to look at the map because I want to see exactly where this house is at. So this house is in this little area right here, right? This little pocket. So what I'm gonna do, okay, is I'm gonna find it right here. Okay, so our house is around here somewhere. Zillow should show us in just a second. There it is right there. This is our house, right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom out because I want the comps that are closest to it. Okay, now I know this area very well. So I know that, I'm gonna draw a circle in just a moment to show you what I mean. I know, look at this, no comps at all. No 4 bedrooms that are not 150 square feet in this entire area. I am not surprised. Okay, it's unheard of. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is, before I adjust any other parameters, I just want to see if there are any of those types of houses for sale. So we have one of them that's for sale. So here is a 4 or 5 bedroom, two bathroom house at 943 square feet for sale. We can see, whoop, hold on. We can see it right here, right? Now, the question now is, well, why did I do this instead of adjusting the parameters, looking for more sold comps? I'm gonna do that in just a moment. But I was just curious, like, I'm curious to see if there's even any kind of product like this on the market available to buy. So as we can see here, there is one, and it's nicely, beautifully renovated, definitely modernized. This is like the tip-top, creme de la creme type of renovation that you can do in this area. So this is actually a pretty cool house to look at. Now, it's not a solid comp yet because it's not a sold comp, right? This is an idea. All right. So when we're looking at houses that are up for sale, remember, it's an idea because it hasn't happened yet. But it does give us an idea of what is available. So if we talk about basic economics, right? Supply and demand, right? When inventory is low, when supply is low and demand is high, prices go where? Prices go where? My mentees, prices go where? I'm looking at the chat. YouTube, prices go where? Prices go, I'm pointing at it. Prices go up, right? Now, when inventory is high and demand is low, where do prices go? Prices go up or down? Prices go down, right? They go down. So why am I saying this? I like to look at what's currently available on the market because it gives me an idea of how to be competitive with my price. In other words, if someone wanted to buy a 4 bedroom or 5 bedroom home that is not less than 1,000 square feet in this area, this is the only option they have right now. This one house. This one house. Okay. So I got another question for you. If you had a house here and you did it and you went crazy with it, like this house, right? You just went, you put all the bells and whistles in it. You made it absolutely luxurious. Right? And you stuck that house up on the market. Would you price it lower than your competition or higher than your competition if your goal is to get the property sold quickly? Type of 1 in the chat if you believe you'd price it lower than your competition. Type of 2 in the chat if you believe you price it higher than your competition. One. Right? Because your goal here is to make money, but you want to make it quickly, right? You don't want your house sitting on the market for a year. That is how you're going to lose a lot of money, all right? So I like to look at what's currently available because it is going to affect and influence where I'm going to set the mark at for myself as an investor if I had my house up on the market for sale right now. And remember this too, what we're currently seeing right now may be different, 6 months from now when the project's actually ready. But it's still important to see what's going on. Does that all make sense? All right. So with that being said, this house is up here for $339,900. I think that's crazy high. That's ridiculous, in my honest opinion. And looks like the days on the market is reflecting that. It's been up here for 80 days, which is kind of long. Okay, but let's go down to here. This is what we want to see: price and tax history. I want to see what they bought it for. Check this out. On April 10th, they bought a 950 square foot house that they renovated for $143,000. It's giving me a little bit of an idea of what someone's willing to pay. But I got a question for you all. Is one comp enough for you to make a major financial decision that could cost you money? Type yes if you believe so. Type no if you think you need to get some more information. Is one comp enough for you to make a major financial commitment that could cost you lots of money or make you lots of money? All right. All right. Frank says no. Okay. I agree with you, Frank. It's not. It ain't. It ain't. And on top of that, look when they bought it. They bought this back in April, right? They bought this back in April. That was like over 6 months ago, right? So, but it gives me a good idea. I have an idea, right? I have an idea. So now we need more information. So clearly that's the only house available back there. I'm not going to go out any further than this. I know this area like the back of my hand. So I'm going to draw a little circle around this little block, this little area right here. It's not really a circle. It's more like a, I don't even know what you call it. I don't know what you call that. It is what it is. It's a custom parameter. All right. So I'm going to draw this custom parameter around this area because I know that in this area right here, the home values are relatively similar, right? Relatively similar type of neighborhoods, relatively similar type of homes, right? So I'm going to circle up that area, and then now I'm going to go back to adjusting my parameters. I'm going to recently sold, and before I adjust anything like beds and baths, or even square footage or any of that, I'm going to look back 12 months. I'm just trying to see. Remember, right now at this stage, I'm just trying to see if there's anything that is exactly like what I'm looking at. Okay, so even in the last 12 months, not even one house has sold that is exactly like mine. 4 bedrooms or more, 950 square feet. So what that tells me is that I got something rare, right? Now, that could be a good thing. That could also be a bad thing. So now let's look to see 3 bedrooms, because I know there's going to be 3 bedrooms in that size. Okay, so let's look to see 3 bedrooms now. Let's see what we get. Wow. So we don't even get 3 bedrooms. Interesting. So let's look at 2 bedrooms. 1, 1, and 1, which sold for $250,000. This is the only comp we got, guys. $250,000. Let's look at how it performed. They bought it for 79, listed it in April for 250, went pending in literally like less than 2 months, and sold a few months later for 250. So they got what they were asking. That's a good sign. So a house that is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, beautifully updated, 1-story home featuring 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Ooh, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Is that right? That says 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, but in the description it says 2-1. So in this case, what we have to do, we would have to look at the county records, right? All right, so step onto this inviting front porch. So what I'm looking for right now is I'm looking to see if they did a really great job renovating this house. All right, so stainless steel appliances, stone countertops, white cabinetry in the kitchen. So it sounds like they did. It sounds like they renovated it, made it look nice. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to see if I can find some photos on it. Let's see if we can find some photos on it. We want something to compare our house to. So we only got 1 photo here. That's not going to be useful. Let's check Redfin. And sometimes we're not going to get photos, and that's okay. You know, the goal here is just try to see if we can get some. It sounds like they renovated it. I just want to see how they did it. What the actual finished product looked like. Let's see if we get fortunate. Check Trulia. Nope. So it looks like all of the photos are probably pulled down. Yep, all the photos are pulled down. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get any photos for it. It is what it is, right? But for right now, we only got 1 comp, y'all. Only 1. So here's what I'm going to do. Before going down any further, I don't like to get down to 2 bedrooms because that's a big gap. We're talking about a 2 bedroom versus a 4, right? I'm gonna go back to 3 bedroom, and what I'm gonna do differently is under the filters. You remember what I said I was gonna change, right? I'm gonna change the year built. Why? Because there's a lot of older homes in this area. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna see if that might help me out a little bit here. Okay, so I still got no comps, right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go down to, where is it? Where is it? Here. And I'm going to increase the square footage just a little bit. At this point now, I'm getting further away from the house that I have, but it's only so I can have something to work with because right now I've got nothing, right? So as soon as I upped the square footage, look what happened. 15 results. All 3 bedrooms or more. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten it up. I'm going to go 4 bedrooms. I got 3, even better. Right? This is better. So we got 3. Let's see what we got. We got this one down here. It's a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 1,200 square feet. Okay. So remember, I want the one that's closest to my house. Our house is located right around here. Well, you can't see what I'm pointing at, but our house is located right around here, right in this area right here. Okay. We got 2 other comps up here. One for 220, a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom at under 1,200 square feet. Another one here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to zoom out like this, okay, and I'm going to look at them this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look. Same thing. Same thing we did with the other house. Just look at it. Okay? Let's look at the description. Newly renovated. Okay, so they said that they renovated this house. 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom. I'm looking at the price and tax history. I'm looking at how it performed. Looks like it was originally bought here on September 3rd, 2024, sold at $219. They listed it at $350, wasn't getting what they wanted, and they listed it September 4th of 2024. This house was listed for over 6 months, almost a year, right? Finally went pending for the first time at $300,000. Now, this is an example of someone who bought a house and listed it for a price that the market wasn't rewarding. They tried to put it up at $350, and the market was not responding to it until they got to $300, and then they eventually sold it for $305. Right? So this gives us some kind of idea. But now remember though, they're selling the 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom house at $305, but the house itself is 1,200 square feet. We'll get into why that's important in just a moment. Okay? Well, let's scroll down here to this next house. This house here on Rio Grande, we're gonna do the same thing. Okay. All right. It's on a major road, which is gonna drop the value down a whole lot. Okay. Let's just take a look here, see what it says. Excellent home. Doesn't really office, den, living room, kitchen, tile throughout, large fenced yard, no HOA, central AC. I mean, it doesn't really say that it was beautifully renovated, so it probably wasn't. Let's look at the price history. So they listed this up in 2024, September 7th, 2024. Sold it November of last year. This is one of those last year comps. I don't even want to look at this. I'll be honest with you. I don't even want to consider this a comp. So let me do one other thing here because I really don't want to look that far. It's too far. Let's go back to 6 months and look at that, y'all. As soon as I went back to 6 months, nothing. Again, right? Yeah. So guess what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to work what we got. I don't want to look that far, but don't worry. I have a solution for that. So let's just go back to this. Look, we got a fourth comp. What happened? Oh, I see. The parameter, my little custom parameter got removed. Put my little custom parameter back. It's probably not exactly the same, but it's good enough. Okay, so now I got my 3 comps again. And here's the last house. This house here, I know this is not renovated. I mean, look at it. It's not. Yeah, it's definitely not. For a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom home, 1,000 square feet, it should have sold for more than that, right? And so let's look down to see. It sold in 2020. That's when they bought it. They rented it out for a while. probably renovated the house October 15th, 2024, listed it up for 219, went pending, didn't sell, went pending again, finally sold at 210, and they sold almost about 6 months later, almost 6 months later for 210, right? All right, so what is this, what is all of this telling us? Okay? These really aren't the best comps, but it is telling us something about the area. Okay, I think this one is the most recent sale. Let's take a look. This one sold in um, April of 2025, this year. So we have two of them that sold this year, and then one that sold last year. So let me see if I can get some photos on this one real quick. I just want to see how well it compares to the one active property that we have that we found in the area. And then, oh, look, we got some photos, y'all, so check this out. So here's the house that sold for 300K. 305 is what it looked like. So remember what that first house, that active house looked like? We're going to compare it to that. Okay? So it's nice. It's a nice home, but it's not as nice as that other house, is it? Right? That other house was way more modernized. It looked like a new construction home, to be honest with you. So, but this house here is a beautiful renovation, though. So I would consider this top dollar for a renovated home. Sold at 305. Nice big yard. Great location. All right. Cool. So we get the idea. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and I'm going to make a couple of adjustments. First of all, I'm going to adjust. No, I can't adjust that because it's giving us these comps. I was going to take a look as well at, yeah, I know what I'm going to adjust. I'm going to adjust the square footage again. This time go up a little higher. I'm just trying to get some more comps under my belt. Okay? We got a lot more comps now. Here's one I sold for 385, but it's a much bigger house. 355, much bigger house. Right? 305, and now we're back to our 305 right here. 295. Okay? 220. All right. So now what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to take these comps that I got. All of these are back here too. 385, 210, 355. I wonder if this is a pool home. Let me see if this is a pool home or not, because that matters a whole lot. No, it's not a pool home. That's good. Let me look at this one. Let me just check if this is a pool home. Not a pool home. That's good too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that's a little unreasonable. But I'm going to do it because this is one of those situations where we just don't have enough solid apple-to-apples comps. We have to make some adjustments, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to take the top, all of these top, the top four, come on now, here we are, the top four comps, and I'm going to take the price per square foot sold. I've got my other phone here. I mean, I got a calculator right here next to me. I'm going to do the calculation on this. I'm going to take 271 on the first comp here. Price per square foot. You see where it says sold at $271 per square foot? I'm going to grab that. I'll grab the next one, 249. I'm going to grab the one that was reasonable, 254. I'm going to grab this one at 201. Okay, and I need to get one that's a comp that is much smaller in size. Another one at 204. So that's a total of 5 comps. Divide that number by 5. And I ended up with $235 per square foot. So now I'm going to take a look at my house. This is my house, 950 square feet. So I'm going to take 235.8 times 950. So the price that I got is $224,000. $224,000, which is super low, right? Super low. Okay, so I'm going to give the house the benefit of the doubt. I think that that's a solid number, though. Like if this house went up on the market for that price, I believe it'll sell for that. Oops, 1 second. I gotta redraw this. But there's one other thing I want to look at though before I commit to that. I'm going to do the same thing again, except this time I'm going to do it with all of the top renovated homes. So we've got one here for 271, the top three, 249, and 254. That gives me 774. Divide that by 3. I end up with 258. Okay, 258. I'm going to take 258 and I'm going to multiply it by 950. Okay, I ended up with $245,000. If you're tracking with me right now and you understand what I'm doing, type a 1 in the chat. If you're on the same page. Do you see what I just did? So the average is going to be between 224 and 245. Normally, in a normal situation, you should have lots of comps that are just like your house, so you're not having to do so much work to figure out what your house could potentially be worth. Now, the homeowner might feel like their houses should be worth $300,000, $385,000, but their house is literally a 950 square foot house, okay, and it's not a 1,200 square foot or 1,400 square foot house. Y'all tracking with me? If I go to for sale, currently right now, for sale, there are only 3 houses for sale that fit this criteria. This one here for $339, which they haven't sold yet. This one down here, look at this. You can get a house, a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 1,400 square foot house for $284 right now. Okay, maybe not. It's not all decked out like this house. But why would anyone pay an extra $60,000 just for a nicer looking home in this area? Which, by the way, it's not Beverly Hills over there. Okay. All right, and this is our other comp right here. I just said it's not Beverly Hills, and look, you can see the boards on the windows, right? So, and here's our other comp for $229, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, nice house, beautiful renovation, right? 1,000 square feet, $229, and they just did a $16,000 price cut. $16,000 price cut. So, my mentees, based on what you've seen with this comp, with this property, where would you comp this house at? So this is our house. What do you believe you will comp this house at? What ARV? What's the ARV that you got? What's the ARV that you got? Because to be honest with you, for me, personally, you guys can type it in the chat. You guys can type it in the chat. For me personally, okay, based on what I'm seeing as to what's available that people can buy right now, I'm not really all that confident in trying to sell this house for $300K or even $250. I'm not confident in that. Look how many other options you got for a bigger house, probably nicer. You got all these options. Frank says 220. Okay. All right. Diane, you want to take a shot? Want to take a shot at it? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something pretty crazy, right? So I'm going to take, let's see if I can find my calculator. I'm going to take my 2 numbers, which was on the low, I think the average came out to 224. And on the high, the average came out to 245. I'm going to take these 2 numbers and multiply it. Oh, sorry. I'm going to add them together, divide them by 2. I ended up with a median of 234.5, and I'm going to chop 20% off that. Why did I chop? Well, 20% is too much. Sorry. Let me instead 234. I'm going to chop 10% off that. 234 minus 10%. So why did I chop 10% off of it? Because at the end of the day, all the comps that I use are not apples to apples. Everything that is active is showing that you can get more for less. So there's no way I can come up on the market demanding a high price when my competition is giving more for less. So I have to make sure I come on competitive and I sell for less than what other people can buy for. So with that being said, look, this is the lowest house right here, 229. I need to be below this house. That makes sense? So with Frank said 220. Hey, honestly, I'm gonna buy with the mindset that I'm gonna resell it for 210. But when I sell it and put it up when I list the house up to sell it, I might put it at 220, 225, 230, and just shoot my shot. But to protect my investment, I'm going to bet on it selling for much less. I might even shoot my shot at 200. So now what does that actually mean? Okay, we got the ARV down. We figured out what this house could sell for. Now what does that mean in terms of what we're supposed to get the house for, right? So as you know, if you're a wholesaler, your job is to get the property at a discount and pass that discount on to an investor. So your job is to honestly look at it from the perspective of someone who's going to flip the house or someone who's going to invest in the home, and your job is to acquire that house for that price minus your wholesale fee. In other words, let's take the 210 and we're going to ARV times 70% minus the repair cost. So this house is 950 square feet. 950 square feet. Let's say that this house is going to need a full cosmetic upgrade, right? Let's say that this is going to be a pretty decent rehab, right? Let's say that you might even need to stick a roof on it. Okay, so I'm going to do it by $30 a square foot. That's $28,000. I'm going to round up to 30 grand. So I'm going to come back here to my 210 times 0.7 minus the repair cost of $30,000. I'm at 117, and then now I've got to add in or subtract the amount of money that I'm looking to make. On average, is $10,000. So what is my offer? My maximum allowable offer? $107,000. That's it. It's $107,000. Could I possibly go up 5 grand to 112,000? Yes, I'll still make $5,000. I'm not mad at that. But in order for me to walk off the table with what I'm looking to make, this is really my max. This is going to be what I negotiate around. So when I come in and I actually make my offer, I might make my offer. I might make my offer at 87,000 and then work my way up to 107,000. Let me show y'all something else. I got this little calculator that I created, and all my mentees, y'all got this, right? But I got this little calculator that I created. Oops, 1 second. All right, so that's my deal board, y'all. All my deals on it. All right, so let's take a look at this. 210. Okay. So 210 is the ARV. So what we're looking at here is this one right here, this cash price. So you got all of these different conditions, right? So this house is going to fall between these two numbers right here. What was the number I came up with? We came up with 107. The calculator already, it falls right in the ballpark of what the calculator is giving me. All right. So what does that mean? It means that now when I come to the table to negotiate this deal, what it means is I know what my maximum allowable offer is, and I have a ballpark for me to kind of test the waters with before I get into negotiation to end up at my maximum allowable offer. So if you ever want to test the waters with a client, with a homeowner, which is sometimes it's a great idea. Like honestly, whenever I have a homeowner who's honestly wanting way more than what I know I'm willing to pay, instead of me saying, hey, I can pay you an exact number, which is almost like backing yourself into a corner. I like to test close. I like to just test the water. I like to just kind of like feel them out. Like, hey, based on the research that I've done, Honestly, I would need to be between here and here. Would that make sense for you? Would If I can get you a price, of course I want to be closer to here. I want to be closer to the 112. I want to give you as much money as I possibly can. But if my offer, was on the higher end of that or fell somewhere between that, is that reasonable for you? Of course, I still have to see the house. I got to walk the house. Now, ballpark offers are great for those of you who are giving offers with a phone and you're not setting any eyes on the house. Now, obviously, if you go to the house, you set eyes on the house, you walk the house, you want to give them an exact number. But just to get stuff done quickly over the phone, give them a ballpark. You test the waters out, you see where they're at. If they're like, no, 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 never in a million years, okay, great. Well, if you ask them for what's their the lowest they're willing to accept. If it's a number that's close to your high end, you might be able to negotiate that. You might be able to make that work. But if it's a drastic difference, like y'all are like $50,000 apart, and it's just something that's just it's not worth it, then move on. Move on, y'all. And let them know they can call you back. Let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. For those of you who are afraid of a homeowner rejecting you and shooting down your price, newsflash, get over it. You're going to have a whole lot of people shooting down your price. Get over it. As a matter of fact, if you really think about what your actual, how you service the marketplace as a wholesaler from the perspective of a homeowner, the actual service you provide is honestly giving them an offer. That's what you said you would do. That's exactly what you said you would do. So just do it. You know what? It's better to give them something. It's better to tell them the offer than to leave them hanging and never telling them anything. You will not believe how many homeowners I get that literally complain to me, and honestly, they play hard to get with me, not because I did anything to them, because I haven't. It's the first time I'm in communication with them, but mainly because they've dealt with someone else who said they were going to deliver something to them and they didn't do it. They said they were going to give them an offer, and then when the homeowner said, no, this is my price, it's either you're going to meet me here or we don't got a deal at all, they don't even give them an offer at all. Understand this. Most homeowners will throw a number at you that is absolutely crazy because they just want to see if you're serious. And some of them really mean it. Some of them really mean, like, if you don't give this to me, you can get out of here. But there's a lot of homeowners too who say that, but after you actually go through the process with them, you give them an offer, you talk to them, you educate them, you really show them that you care. A lot of times they will come back around, and they'll come back around to you because you're the person who actually gave them what they asked for. So do not be afraid of the seller saying no. And I want this to be clear. No is not a rejection. It is not even an objection. No is the beginning of the negotiation. And sometimes during the negotiation process, the other party may need time to think. The other party may also need time to go try their own thing before they realize that working with you is the right thing to do. And that's okay too. Remember, I want you to remember this. If your business is relying on one person to agree to do business with you, you're going to have one struggling business. I said it. If your business is relying on one person to show up, that one deal you got, I got one lead, I promise you're going to struggle. Why? Because if you're waiting on that one person to say yes, you might be waiting for a long time because I said, ideally, you're waiting for them to come around. You're waiting for them to decide that now is a good time, that you are the right person, that they're willing to sell at the price that you can work with. When the reality is that while that one person is going through the stages of the sales process they need to go through, there's 10 other people that you haven't even talked to yet that may be willing to go to do that right now with you. They're probably willing to agree with you at that price right now. They want to work with you right now. They want to sell right now. They want to do it now. They don't want to keep looking around for more people. They want somebody who's serious, who's going to get the job done, and they want to do it now. And they're cool with the price. So what am I really saying here? What I'm saying is if you want to truly see your business get off the ground, you have to build your pipeline up. So while you're working on the one opportunity that you got, go find 5 more. Build that pipeline. While you're negotiating with one deal here, make sure you're following up with your other deals here. Build up your pipeline. I want to challenge everyone here that's listening to the sound of my voice. This coming week, from now till next Thursday, I want to challenge you to give out 5 offers. I don't care if they are ballpark offers. I don't care if they are, solid offers. Just give them out. Give them out. As a matter of fact, if you can do 10, you are an overachiever. Why? Because 10 is the magic number. 10 is the magic number. You give out 10 solid offers with real people who really need to sell. Like they've told you they needed to sell. They're ready to they've made the decision to sell. Like they're going to do it. They're going to sell no matter what. It's just a matter of what price and with who and how. But they're going to sell. They made a decision. You give out 10 offers to those kind of people, I promise you're going to get something under contract. Even if you're the worst salesperson on the planet. Okay? So listen, I hope that this has been helpful, y'all. Listen, let me see if I can bring on one of my mentees on here real quick. Let's have a chat. Diane, Frank, y'all want to raise your hand if you want to come on here right now and have a quick chat. We can review what we discussed tonight. Throw some, we could have a discussion about it, or we could all have a discussion together. Doesn't matter. I want to get some feedback here. Now, be mindful, we are live. We are on YouTube, y'all, so I'm going to keep it 100% with y'all. So all right, because I want y'all to be comfortable, too.
For sure.
What's up, Frank?
What's up, Luke?
What's up, King? Blessed by the best, man. How you doing today, brother?
Yes, sir. Same here. And so far as like you said with the offers, I want to say that'd be like my main thing that I have a problem with. But I will say I catch myself like working so much on this one offer that I start lagging and not necessarily not touching up, but I just want to make it as a point because I feel like I got this one on the edge. I need to figure this one out, and then I'll move to the next one. But like you said, yeah, you got to get them offers out for sure.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. And I know that feeling, bro. I know that feeling, And I want to be clear on something too. Like, it is important that you really focus the time in on that lead. I mean, if you got a hot lead, take care of that, right? But there's only so much you could do at any given time, if that makes sense, right? Because they have to go through a process. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So do what you have to do to get them to the next step of the process. But once you there, like, I'm on to the next. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, there's a 4-step process, sales process in our business. Okay? There's the outreach. There's the discovery. There's the offer. And then there's the fulfillment. ODOF. Outreach, discovery, offer, fulfillment. Right? This same 4-step process every single time. So what I'm getting at is, every lead that you have is going to go through this process. So imagine your list of leads. This is where it all starts, right? Your list. Outreach. This is what you're doing. Cold calling, marketing, however you do it, right? You get some responses. Then they go into discovery mode. This is where you're finding out their situation, finding out, what they want to do, they price, all that good stuff. So that way you can come back to them with their offer. Right? So in between each one of these stages, there's downtime. With that one particular person. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you definitely want to make sure that you are that you are doing everything you can to move the needle forward. But whenever there's that downtime, Let's go build that pipeline up.
For sure. For sure.
Ooh, my brother. You got anything else?
Uh, nah, not really, because you be on point. So I'm right there behind. Just like I said, with that being a little stuck, just got to work that. Not necessarily saying stuck, but just working out, and like you said, just push it to the next one. Make sure you're building it up, because you can't be sitting around stuck on one for real.
For real, man. That's true. That's true, man. And again, it's just finding that downtime, bro. Like if you got the downtime, that's your opportunity. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't want you to miss
Yeah,
out. I don't want you to miss out on what's right in front of you, right? So one of the things I tell my salespeople is when you are prioritizing your leads, always prioritize the person who is closest to the finish line. Why? Because that's where your money's at.
for sure.
Your money's not with the people you ain't never talked to. It's with the people who's like, yeah, I didn't give an offer to. We're in the negotiations that I just need to get them over the finish line. That is the most important person in your list.
Right. Right.
But while things are in the seasoning mode, like you can't just be sitting there twiddling your thumbs either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I've been there, man, where like, oh, this the one here. You know what I'm saying? This the one. I'm just waiting for it to come back. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling, I'm waiting, right? And then I get back on the phone with them, man. Oh no, we don't want to do it. I'm like, what? How much time did I just let go by?
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, you got to balance both of them, man. But you got to do, Frank, man. You definitely got the work ethic, bro. You got it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we just need a reminder, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's all. I think another thing too, like I be so doing like my due diligence on one, and I be so tied up in the knowledge and what I'm doing with that one. Say for instance, somebody else called me. Now I'm trying to rumble and trying to figure out. All right, let me get this to my notes. Figure out, all right, what was his stuff, or what address this was, and trying to get back into that mode with that seller. I'm just trying to balance that out, because I don't, like I said, I don't be trying to get super overwhelmed.
Mm. You got what's your system right now to keep track of your leads? How are you keeping track of your leads and what's going on with all your different with your clients, where they're at in the process? How are you tracking all that?
I'm doing that through Podio.
Podio. Okay, good. So number one, the good thing is that you have a system to track them with. That's number one, right? We definitely don't want to do the pen and paper thing. That's old school,
No
bro.
sir.
We got that no more.
No sir.
You know what I'm saying? Um, so something is better than nothing. Podio's free, so that's all good there. I started off with Podio. Um, the most important thing is that you're keeping track of all of it, bro. I think that the more organized you get with that, the easier that becomes. So one of the things that I did to help me, because obviously once you start really growing your pipeline and you got like a lot of leads and stuff like that, it may become a little overwhelming to keep track of everybody, even with a CRM system. So
Mm-hmm.
this is why I created a deal board. I have deal boards now, right? I'll show it to you guys, but honestly, I'm on YouTube and I'm not trying to show all my stuff on
For
YouTube.
sure.
Next thing I know, all my sellers are gonna be calling. Yeah, I just got an offer from this other. I just got an offer from the nah, so I can't. But I know Diane, you've seen it. Diane, you've seen it. Um, uh, but Frank, I don't know. I think I showed you a deal board before, right?
um, if you probably about did. You probably about did.
Let me see something. Let me see. I might have a template. Let me see if I got a template.
No.
I'm gonna show y'all real quick because I think it'll be a great learning lesson for everybody. Like so the whole point that I'm getting at, man, is I've taken. Oh, I do got one. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let me share my screen. So the whole point that I'm making right now is I realize for me, this isn't everybody, right? But for me, I feel like when things get a little bit when things get a little overwhelming, like when there's just a lot going on, it's easier for me to have one place where I can see everything all at once and it's all super organized. And I'm gonna show you what I mean in
Yeah.
a second. To where now I don't really gotta remember everything. I just have to open up my deal board every day, look at it, and I know exactly where the money's at.
Oh,
You dig
for
what I'm
sure.
saying?
That makes sense.
So let me show you what that looks like. All right. So here's an example. Here's a template of my deal board right here. So these aren't actual real deals because it's a template. All right. But you can see here, here are all the different stages. Opportunity, that's also known as outreach, right? No, these are all people who are past the outreach stage. So these are leads that we've talked to. They said they wanted to sell. These are called opportunities, right? Then there are the negotiating, the ones that we are negotiating with. Those people have said, we've given them an offer, and now we're just working out the terms and the price.
Mm.
That's what negotiating is, right? And down here, all the properties we got under contract, all the ones that we closed. So you see how simple that is. So
Yeah,
now, so now guess what? Now what we do is when we get someone who's like, yeah, I want to sell, yada 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 yada. We take them through the discovery stage. We immediately put them on the opportunity list immediately.
right.
Now what this does, now they're in our CRM system as an opportunity, but they're also on our deal board as an opportunity. Why? Because because when I need to look at things at a high level, I don't have to go searching through my CRM trying to click all these different things, trying to find
Exactly.
who's important or who I should be focused on today. All I gotta do is open up my deal board. Okay, here are all my opportunities. Okay, what's the status? All right, I need to follow up with this person. And sometimes we'll put notes in. I mean, this is not like it's not fully, like I said, if I could show you my real deal board, like it's super detailed, bro. Like on the lead, it'll tell you this is the stage we're at. This is what we talked about. This is what needs to happen for this deal. You get what I'm trying to say? And it's
Right.
very
Yes.
detailed. So that way, if anybody needs to pick up the ball, or if we need to come back and do the next stage of the process, we know what we're actually doing. So this is very generic. It just says follow up, right?
No, I get it.
So so um so yeah. So that's pretty much it, man. So when I say the one that we focus on is is the one that's closest to the money, it ain't these right here, baby. It's these right here.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? If you're in negotiation status, every single day I'm looking at you. Even if there's nothing for me to do with you today, that's cool. I might still be waiting for you. You think what I'm saying? But I need to look at you every day.
Mhm.
Because if there's something for me to do, I need to take action on it. I can't miss a day. You get what I'm trying to say? Because that could have been a day that you know
Yes.
you was ready, somebody else got you. So I need to be on point. And so I always look at this first, and then now I go from bottom to top, right? What's going on with my properties under contract? Let me make sure that that's moving. Okay, great. Look, all the properties I'm negotiating with, I give out offers to. What's going on with those? All right, I checked off and read all of those for today. Great. Now let me go into the people who are just leads who told me they want to sell, and I just need to get them an offer. Let me get them offers out the door. Let's move the needle forward. Once I
Mhm.
go through all of these, now I go back to my list where all my cold people are that I ain't even talked to yet. I need to fill up the pipeline. I need to get more people into the opportunity stage.
100%.
Make sense?
Yep.
Does that
100%.
help you, brother?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Have a system to. I got your message, man. You like send it to me. I got you, bro. And for those of you who are on YouTube, if you want access to the deal board, you got to you got to join the community. You got to be in the community for that. I'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, Frank, is you good, brother? Is there anything else?
No, that about it, bro.
All right, cool, cool. Diane, I know I saw your message, so you don't got to worry about the camera part. But is there anything you want to share? Anything, any questions you have? Because we're getting ready to wrap up for tonight. Diane says she can't. Oh, 1 second, Diane. I got you. I got you. All right, try now, Diane.
Hey,
Hey, hey, Diane.
how are you?
Blessed by the best. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So no, I mean, I was listening. I was running late today. But I agreed with Frank because sometimes we just stay focused on that one person that one seller that we speak to, and it's like, okay, we spoke to them. They want to sell, they want to, they tell us all their problems, and we just stay focused on that. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, no, 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 we still not ready. I've been there and I've done 3 deals, but I have been there where I just stay stuck on just one seller, and it's just I don't know if it's I sometimes I question myself. I'm like, why am I just staying here with just the same person trying to get that yes? If they wanted to sell, they would have been told me yes a long time ago.
Yes, yes, indeed, indeed. And I'm on the same page with you. I'm on the same page with you there. And so I do want to say this. um, Remember, like this is a sales business, right? And essentially, well, first of all, when it comes to people in general, people do things because they feel like it. They make decisions, they take action on stuff because they feel like it, right? And so a lot of times, if your client isn't isn't telling you that yes yet, they just haven't had enough conviction yet to actually take action and to do something about their situation, right? Or enough conviction yet to do it with you. You dig what I'm saying? And sometimes that can take time. And sometimes that could take you consistently following up over and over and over and over again. So I do want to say this. It doesn't mean it won't happen. I want to be very clear about that, right? Let's not be confused. You know what I'm saying? So that also means let's not throw away an opportunity just because it's taken a while. I had a deal, y'all. I had multiple deals, not a deal. I had multiple deals, but I had one recently this year. Literally took me an entire year to get the deal, an entire year to go through the whole process, a whole year. What if at any moment during that process I was like, forget this person, just forget it. It's just not coming. That was a $20,000 deal, $20,000 deal, but it took the whole year. It took the whole year. And so sometimes you're going to have those situations where, it's just going to take you some time and it's worth it. But while that is brewing up, we also need to be making sure that our pipeline is full because we don't want to go hungry for one person. We want to make sure we're straight while also helping people. Remember, last week we talked about, business and money is spiritual, right? It's all spiritual. Making money is spiritual. This is why every business, if a business wants to make money, the business has to be focused on how it's going to help people, help its customers, help its clients. That's the only way every business makes money, is because the business is focused on bettering the lives of their clients. So at the end of the day, your actual purpose is to make sure that that homeowner gets a solution to their problem. Your actual purpose is to make sure that that homeowner is being taken care of. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. That's your duty to call yourself a business owner, is to make sure that your clients are being taken care of. The money is a byproduct of that. So what I'm saying right now is I'm saying take care of your people that you're already working with, but go find some more people to help to take care of, because some of them are probably ready sooner than the person that you're dealing with now to help you to make sure that you are continuing to make that to continue to get that revenue coming in while you are working with that person. And so definitely do everything that you're doing right now, Diane. Keep doing that, but make sure that you do this well, right? So I think for you, this is, as I mentioned to Frank, I think for you this is just a reminder, because you've already got the tenacity, you got the zeal. I mean, you said you closed 3 deals already, and that didn't come from you twiddling your thumbs around. That came because you're out there finding deal after deal after deal after deal after deal. Just keep doing that with your downtime. And when I say downtime, I mean time that you're not utilizing on the person that's closest to the finish line. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. It's just sometimes it's like I mean, I know it's possible. Like I'm someone who had no idea what this business was about. And when I closed my first deal, I was like, wait a minute, this is pretty easy. I mean, it takes work, but it's easy, you know? But I guess Then when I closed my second deal, I was like, okay. And then my third deal, if you can remember that one, then my third deal, they turned down my offer, and that's why it's important to stay consistent and have every single person that you speak to on that deal board, because when I went back to them and asked them, their deal fell through. So
Yep.
they were like, listen, and I was able to sign that contract. We were able to close what within 3-4 weeks.
Yep. 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 I remember that one. I remember that one. So like, that's like champion. First off, I'm clapping for you. Clapping for you. That's that's like that is a champion mindset. So I know that this seller is gonna come around eventually for you, right? They will, because you've already been shown that from your previous deal that that can happen. And so I know you're gonna stick with them. I don't doubt that at all. You know, and I know that you're gonna find more opportunities because that's what you do. So like I said, I think this is just a reminder. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need that inspiration, that reminder, that tap on the shoulder, just to remind ourselves, like, hey, you know what? Wait a minute, I can go get some more deals. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we're in that moment of discouragement because we're working on this one deal and it's a little challenging. We start to feel a little down, right? Sometimes we just need that reminder, like, wait a minute, there's like thousands of homeowners out there that need my help still. Let me go find some more. So do what you've done before, Diane. You know, do what you've done before to fill up your pipeline. Keep doing that.
Yeah, consistency works. We just got to be, consistent. I was able to enjoy my entire summer. That's what I think it was. I made those 3 deals. I stood home for the first time in God knows how long. I've always been a straight 9 to 5, and being able to spend time with, my babies and my family during the summer, I guess I was like, you know what? I got used to it. So now I need to close more deals because next year, getting to that 300K, remember?
Go. Let's go, Diane. Let's do it. It's already done. It's already done. Do you believe that?
Absolutely. Of course I believe it. I know it's possible. This is possible. It's possible. Like I said, I had no idea what this business was about, and yep, 300K for 2026.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So listen, I hope that tonight has been helpful to all of you that's here tonight in helping you to sharpen your skills and helping you to improve your business, right? So take this week and really, like, do one thing over and over and over and over to help you be able to fill up your pipeline. Whatever that's been working for you, do more of that. Fill up your pipeline and give out offers. Give out offers. Give out offers. Give out offers. And let's come back next week with some deals to review, right? Um, so with that being said, y'all, listen, it is 9:25 p.m. I'm gonna let y'all go. We're probably all ready to get some sleep. But before I do, I want to wish everybody who's here tonight just a wonderful night. May God bless you. May He protect you. May He provide for you. May He prosper you. In Jesus' name. Until next week, y'all have a fantastic and prosperous week. Of course, my mentees, you already know you can reach out to me if you need anything throughout the week. And I will see all of y'all again next week. Bye bye.
Guys.